Hello everyone, Soos here. So on popular request of I would say at least 3 people, I'm doing a commentary of my latest Chrono Mine run in order to explain you a little bit what's going on in the background. My Chrono Mine runs usually run quite simple in 4 different stages. So first things first, I want to open up the mine, meaning I try to max out Mineshaft 1, for which I'm using here Servina, Ezio, but also Edmund in order to dig deep as quickly as possible after maxing out the first mineshaft. So you can see me opening up mineshafts currently, trying to upgrade the shafts here and there a little bit in order to maximize how much resources I gain from Ezio and Edmund. And once I see that I hit a ceiling, I place all my mine income factor or continental income factor managers in order to boost it up a little bit further. I do this as long as I still make significant progress, and just now I also will activate Centaur in order to upgrade one particular shaft further down the road a little bit further. You can also see when I place the managers, I actually do not really care too much which manager I actively place. It usually is one mine income factor, continental income factor manager, or also a mineshaft unlock cost reduction manager in order for me to be able to unlock more mineshafts quicker. I just now also activated Lorenzo in the background in order to upgrade a little bit further mineshafts down the road so that I get a little bit more power to, again, dig deeper with the mineshafts. So you get the common theme. It is really about unlocking as many mineshafts as possible so that I can place more of those important managers that make me progress faster. And I basically use all managers alongside that, help me boost that as quickly as possible. So a little bit more than 2 minutes now have passed. My first phase is now over. I now switch over to warehouse ahead managers. So therefore I placed Jaske in the warehouse. I currently activate Samantha, and I also place Sporwick in order to further boost my warehouse so that I gain more levels. Also Urcha is helping here a lot in order to upgrade the warehouse as much as possible. I get nearly to 3,300 here on the warehouse, which is a quite good result already. That helps me unlocking more than enough mineshafts so that I can place all of my remaining super managers. Also, just one thing I didn't mention before, obviously I try to place super managers where they are super effective. Therefore I just now shifted Sue to a different shaft where she's super effective. With this, all important mineshaft super managers are now being placed, and I enter my third phase, which is digging down to mineshaft 70, now with the help of Selena. Selena, for the ones of you who do not know it, is a great manager because she basically allows that any manager in the mineshaft is becoming an instant cash manager. I also use Omnix in order to further boost my mineshaft production rate, but also Axion in order to boost my instant cash production rate at the end. Combined with all of the mineshaft unlock cost reduction managers, this means that basically out of a single pulse of a new manager in a mineshaft, I am immediately able to unlock 2 further mineshafts down the road. While opening up now the mineshafts, I also mapped out previously in which shaft I need to place which manager later on. So you can see me placing here Glimmer, particularly in shaft 62. I will place now Asterion in shaft 63 and Ember in shaft 64. This is due to the fact that this is a perfect combination for my fourth phase, where I still try then to level up my mineshaft 70, where I want to have both Glimmer and Ember super effective next to Asterion. You need to plan ahead while placing the managers here in order to be time sensitive, because after all we try to aim for a finish of Chrono Mine on the first ticket. Also placing here a super effective legendary manager with upgrade cost reduction in mineshaft 70, Orekir in particular, because I used him later on also for my chain. With this, basically the third phase is now completed. I have unlocked Mineshaft 70 and it's now only about upgrading Mineshaft 70 as much. So still more or less part of phase number 3, where I run now Selena based on Asterion. I'm also boosted by Naoe in order to get a little bit more power out of the Selena combo. Unfortunately, my Naoe did not hit Asterion, otherwise I would have been able to upgrade Mineshaft 70 a little bit more. I think, if I remember correctly, but we will see it in a second. Anyways, I get to Mineshaft 70 level 520 or something prior to actually starting the chain. Also, I need to be a little bit cautious about the remaining time, so we have a little bit less than 4 minutes 30 seconds available, because I plan to, on the one hand side, run a full chain, but on the other hand side I also plan to restart or reduce more or less the cooldown which is left on Axiom with Rose. So therefore a little bit of time is needed up ahead. So while Asterion is still running currently, I am still trying now to sort a little bit of things out. I deactivate and activate Axiom now for the Rose cooldown, which will happen in the chain. And I also place now Abeo in Mineshaft 1, activate him already early, because he needs 1 minute run time ahead in order to get the full multiplayer out of him. Orek is also now being started, collecting the resources in Mineshaft 17. I just now check if all of my respective supporting managers are being activated. Unfortunately, I did miss a few. So there is still potential, but luckily we will see later on. It anyways was more than enough. While Orek is running, it is more or less now waiting time for us. So I utilized this idle time in order to upgrade our mineshaft, because that is also quite tedious process, takes a couple of seconds here and there. So you can see me running now in the background, trying to upgrade as many mineshafts as possible without missing the proper end of Orek, so that I'm not missing the handoff chain. For the ones of you unfamiliar with Orek, you need to catch his hand off a little bit early, catching here with Utux in the first place, and then Rose directly afterwards, which is superior in this time's Chrono Mine. And then right after having deactivated this, I also start now the collection phase of Chance, because he also needs some run-up. So he is based on how many funds have been received, or how often funds have been received on the elevator. So therefore I just activated a couple of elevator beamers, most importantly Phreesia here. Also running now Eternity in the background in order to get the funds from Mineshaft 70 to Mineshaft 1, which was luckily this time that Eternity was super effective in Mineshaft 17. And therefore the funds entered Abeo in Mineshaft 1, and we could already see in the meantime that there are now 47 dB funds in Mineshaft 1, which is a great starting line. I now only wait for the yellow numbers next to Chance to basically not improve anymore, and I think we have hit it now, 117.58, and therefore I activate now Ivor in Mineshaft 1. Directly afterwards remove Ivor, that moves the stockpile from Mineshaft 1 towards Chance, and then afterwards I directly activate Harumi, and I just now need to wait for the respective cooldown on Axiom, so that once I basically remove Chance, the funds move to Harumi, and that directly afterwards can activate Axiom, so that once Harumi is ending, Axiom is boosting her instant cash right away. That will happen now here in 3 seconds. And we will see in a second that the funds directly move towards Harumi's tree. And I could now have ended Harumi early, but I was still not sure if I was capable of maxing the whole mine. So I was a little bit hesitant because I did not plan ahead fully, to be very honest. But we can see just in a second, once Harumi is ended, I basically have like 25 seconds available. I see the funds are more than enough, and therefore in the last couple of seconds of this ticket 1, I go ahead, maximize all of the remaining mine shafts and elevator and warehouse. And that's basically it. A full wrap up of my ticket 1 finishing of Chrono Mine. It was a little bit of a hassle, stress planning ahead, but luckily at the end the elements this time around worked out very well, so it was like best case scenario, you could say. Anyways, I hope this helped you and you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for watching. Wish you a pleasant day ahead. Bye everyone.